Trying to get in and around the van in here. So, door, standard door with the bin and the standard Auto-Trail umbrella. Frontier lighting to the footwell, carpeted throughout. So as I said, this is a twin bench model. So the one on the, as I'm standing here looking at it towards the front, the one on the right hand side is the longer one. The one on the left is slightly shorter. They can be pulled together and gives you a lot more of a bed area. What you will notice with this particular van is the amount of storage. This van has an immense amount of storage, and it's not like they're tiny little cupboards either. They're proper big cupboards. There's your TV antenna. In here's your electrical box, but even there's storage above that. I used to keep my iPad Pro in there, out the way. Another again, more cupboards. These ones at the front are particularly big, to the point where you can actually get the boom table in there. Now the boom table is a table that fits in this section under here, behind the passenger seat. It just gives an additional table rather than getting out the main table all the time. So TV, as we mentioned, it's got its own isolation button and just flips up out of the way when not in use. Those cupboards again. You get a nice big sunroof, which is a wind-up affair. Can be used whilst travelling, but we don't tend to, but it can be. Secure points there. Obviously you've got your standard blinds. There's your blackout blind. Whilst we're on the subject of blinds, the front cab comes complete with its own blinds, and in the doors there's another 240 volt socket there. Now that socket used to be down underneath here, as you'll see. The blank that is now in there, over in the corner next to the fire extinguisher, which was a pretty pointless place to place it, so it was removed from there and placed up there, which is much more usable. Going back to the semi-air ride suspension that we've got in the van, you can see the gauges there, the adjustments, and the button on the right hand side is where you switch on the inflator, which lives in the door sill down here on the driver's side. All four glass sections of the mirrors are electric, which are controlled from over there, as are the windows. Sticking with this settee actually, move that out of the way, you'll see how deep these are. So you can see how deep that cushion is. And if you fold that cushion up, you've got loads of storage under there. There's nothing in there at all, so it's all storage underneath that front cushion, which is to say this van has an immense amount of storage. The seat belt that's just fallen down the back there is simply to secure our little dog in the van whilst we're travelling. This can't be used for adults or children or anything like that. It's simply only there to secure a dog box in place. So obviously other blinds, these are the up and down stroke blinds. By that I mean you don't get light bleed in the blinds. Some of the cheaper vans have blinds that only come down, and when the light starts you tend to get the light creeping in underneath them. Remote control there, which obviously removable, this holder. The remote control is for the Truma habitation air conditioning, which was fitted in October 2019 by Truma themselves. Another pair of 240 volt sockets over there. One thing you won't find in this van is a scarcity of plug sockets. Racking for your cups and plates, etc. Microwave, not standard in most vans now, but yeah, standard in this one. Full size cooker with 3 gas and electric hot plate. Storage underneath the cooker, which again, more and more storage in this van. You've got lighting at the back plate, at the back of the window there. You've also got lighting underneath this kitchen area, storage area. Cutlery, whatever else you want to put in there. Again, under there. It's quite deep, as you can see. And in this cupboard, we have pull-out cage drawers. 3 of those, tins or whatever you want to put in them. So they're quite big. Standard sink, quite big with built-in drainer. This section here, when not in use, can be stored underneath the microwave. That's what it's actually designed for. So obviously with one hand without dropping it. It's in there. Hides away, so you don't have to have it out if you don't want it. Moving back, we have a shower. Now this again is, whilst we're there, there's a dividing door. This is actually the toilet door, but can be used to divide the rear bedroom area from the front cab, as you can see. And then we have, going back to the shower, this is a big shower. LED lit in terms of the lighting, but you can see by the base how deep that is. You know, in looking at replacement vans, we've really struggled to find anything even close to that. That's because most of them have a wheel arch stuck in the way, whereas this one doesn't, so you don't find it really cramped at all. It's a really good shower. We've only actually started using the shower since the COVID pandemic. Prior to that, we only ever went to sites that had showers, and likewise with the toilet. We only used the toilet for basics prior to the COVID scenario, so that's only been used 2 or 3 times really in recent trips. So these are twin beds, as you can see. I think one is 6 foot and the other one's 6'2". The one is, as I'm looking at them now, the one on the left is the slightly longer one. The one on the right is slightly smaller, but more than adequate for most people's needs. So coming down, and yet another 240 volt power socket. That's not the end of them. We'll get to another one in a moment. And you'll notice there's also a plug to put in a cigarette lighter type or USB adapter. And there's more of those as well. We'll get to those as well. So again, rear storage, loads of it all the way through this van. It's the same on both sides. They do have shelves. Again, seems to be something that's being omitted from more recent vans. You'll notice that there's also a rubber seal in here. I don't know if you can really see that, but all these cupboard doors, they don't have catches on them. All they do is they rest against that rubber seal. We've never ever had anything drop out of them, and they don't rattle, unlike modern current vans. So in here, this alcove above the bed, another USB socket, charging your phones, tablet devices, etc, etc, and likewise in this side as well. Whilst we're on the subject of more sockets, an additional TV socket, 12 volt outlet, and another 230 volt, 240 volt. Cupboards, more shelving, another big cupboard, even cupboards in the back of the cupboards. So this bed's tilted, works on a ratchet system. You just lift it up